a few prominent companies come to the top of the list. One is iControl, which is represented here on the stage by Jim Johnson, who's the Executive Vice President and General Manager. Jim, come on up. Talk to us about what's going on in the cable-powered, cable-enabled home security and automation market. Good to have you, sir.
Good to be here.
Thank you. So what's cable bringing to the table when you think about what has been kind of a sleepy category for a long time, right?
Yeah, well, they're leveraging a new platform, a broadband home management platform that we've helped them create at iControl. And it, first and foremost, a better home security solution that's more interactive, a little more lively than your traditional.
Has some video thrown into the mix,
Has some video in it, has some thermostat control, some lighting control in it. But mostly this is a platform for the connected home, the smart home we've been talking about forever. And this is the platform to deliver those types of services.
Why now?
Well, there's, I think the stars have aligned. There have been some technology advances. There's a platform available now. There's a need to drive new revenue by the cable companies. Right. And there's time for executives to think about a new service. Okay. It's about every 6 to 8 years that you see one of these services come up, so I guess time is due. Next new service.
Can we take a look at some of what you got?
Let's look at it. So yeah. I guess it makes sense to start first with the devices.
All right, just leave me. All
okay.
Right. Bye.
Well, you can come with me if you'd like. Okay. The main system in the home is the control panel. This is the security system and the gateway for all of the other devices that are in the home. It also runs any Android app, and we'll come back to that in a minute. There are a number of devices that would connect to this. There may be sensors such as this one on a door. If you have an existing security system, we would connect into that equipment that's already there, but if you don't have an existing security system, you would connect devices such as this. If you'd like your thermostats to be controlled and linked to the thermostat or to the security system, these are the thermostats that would be used. These are typical cameras that would be mounted within the home or outside the home. And this is an example of one of the lighting controls that we use. This is a simple lamp module that plugs into an outlet and you would use to control your lamp. And so all of this gets connected together through this gateway and is controlled from the cloud by the service that either Comcast or Time Warner or Rogers have announced that is available. One of the interesting things about this touchscreen is that you can run any Android app on this touchscreen. And so this is an opportunity for convergence. Any of the Android apps that a Time Warner or a Comcast may have, such as Xfinity Mobile or Xfinity Home, will run on this device. This is an example of an NBC News amp, for example, running on this device. All of the apps on here to control these devices run on this touchscreen, and also I'll show you an example of a live system running remotely on an iPad. So, one of the, as I'm bringing this up, one of the interesting things you can do when you control both the security and the home automation and the video is you have the opportunity to link that information together and to control what happens. So in other words, if you say, when I open the garage door, right, I want my garage lights to come on, this is a platform now that you can do that. It's not only home security, but it's the ability to customize your lifestyle.
Yeah.
If you say, when I leave in the morning and arm my system away, I want my thermostat to turn up to save money. In Texas, we want it to turn up now.
You do.
To save money.
Right.
You can control it to do that. There's a rules engine that allows you to do that. So this is an example of what you can see from anywhere in the world. You can see a few cameras here and the current status of all of the zones in my home.
So this is your home?
This is actually my home, yeah. So I hope... so
you have a pool?
We do have a pool,
That's
a little
nice.
Pool in the background. It's very nice. You like that? It's a little shallow. It's
That's all right.
Suited for kids.
It looks good. It's okay.
I could change the thermostat, make my wife a little cooler or a little hotter back at home if I wanted to.
Don't mess with it.
You know, there are a few thermostats here that I could control. A few lighting modules here that I could control if I wanted to turn things on and off. And there's also some some history here. So this is an example of where I have rules set up with when certain events happen. So anytime a front door opens, the front door camera takes a video clip. So this was this morning. I'm here in Boston, 7:28 this morning. The kids are on their way to school. They're going to school.
Do you recognize that child?
I do recognize that child. He's a good boy.
That's the coolest thing ever.
Good kid.
So this is a remote application, or you could use it in-home as well, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, you use it both. It's your home management platform. There are things you want to manage when you're at home, and things you want to manage when you're away.
Okay. You can do it through your chosen device, or you can do it through a tablet control panel that you guys make. Is that right?
Well, we write the software for all of these devices.
Okay.
We work with partners that manufacture the hardware. Our announced partners are SMC, Technicolor, Visonic. That touchscreen right there is a new one that's being introduced by Technicolor.
So Jim, at this show, I think a recurring question is, you don't have to be a cable company to be in this business. No. ADT has a new arm called Pulse that's offering sort of similar services. But what does a cable company bring to the market that's unique or sort of optimally arrayed to make a dent in this market?
Yeah, so this is a broadband platform that leverages the cable company's operational capabilities and broadband pipes. So specifically, there are tens of thousands of cable techs out there and tens of thousands of people that answer phone calls. So what the cable industry brings is the ability to take this type of service and really scale it at a price point for the masses. When you wanted to do this 5 years ago, this was tens of thousands of dollars worth of equipment and a lot of money every month to provide this service. Yeah. Today, it's being offered for $40 a month and a couple $100 up front. So this is really a service for the masses.
Is there a big training hurdle for that technician staff that the cable industry has to sort of make happen, or does this fit into their skill set, relatively well? This
is part of what we did at iControl was we customized the installation process as well as the back office tools, the tech support tools and the customer support tools to work with the way cable runs their business. And so a cable tech will typically be trained on this for 3 days in a classroom. He'll go on some truck rolls with an already trained tech. And by the end of a week, he can usually go on his own and do an install of this product into a customer's home.
So how long does well, there's probably a range depending on how many sensors you're using and how tricked out your system's going to be. But how long does an install take?
It's usually for the basic kit, and they vary a little bit, but for the basic kit, it's 2.5 to 3 hours.
Okay.
About an hour of that is actually customer education.
Yeah.
The cable companies are finding this is a much more interactive process, installation and sales process. That you need to tell it's not like a set-top box you go plug in and you know how to use the remote.
Yeah.
So they're spending about an hour educating people, including that hour. It's 2.5 to 3 hour process.
So obviously you're not in charge of retail pricing for the cable industry, but around $40 is
around $40, yeah.
What you're seeing. How are your customers doing? I mean, is this, it's an early deployment.
It's very early, and so it's hard to tell for the long term, but the early results are extremely positive. The numbers are better, the install times are lower, the tech support costs are lower. One of the favorite statistics that I see is the Net Promoter scores are running. So Net Promoter is, you ask somebody, would you recommend this to a friend?
Right.
It's a simple question. Minus 100 to 100, average is 0. IBM, for example, is minus 10, I believe.
Okay.
For a pretty good brand.
Yeah.
This product is 70. This is a 70 Net Promoter score.
What I find interesting about that is you remember when the cable industry entered the telephony business and had to overcome some consumer jitters, right? Early on about, do I want my cable company to be well, that question has been solved, and a very significant percentage of US households today have phone service from the cable company. But are there going to be similar sort of concerns to overcome in this domain?
I'm sure there will be.
Yeah.
I'm sure there will be.
It's an essential service, home security.
It's an essential service. So one of the interesting things we're seeing as well is, again, it's early days, but 20% of the homes in North America have security. 80%. Did you ask that question?
He got it. Yeah, he was dead on. Yeah.
Who is that?
I don't know. I'm afraid he worked for you, and he
doesn't. I don't recognize him.
Okay. So it's legit. Okay.
Yeah, it's legit. So 80% don't work at home security. So right now, actually, the majority of the cable sales are coming from that 80% that does not currently buy home security.
So that's huge from an economic standpoint, because you're not just poaching from whoever is market-based, but there's an upside that may be significant.
There's an upside,
I think we talk about this a lot. I think when people get this technology in their hands and you have cameras around your house, remote controls, you can do all sorts of interesting things with it, but that'll be next year's Imagine Park. Jim, thanks for being with us, man.
All right. Very nice.
Jim Johnson.